During the third season of A Certain Magical Index, we witnessed the second fight between Touma and Accelerator during the World War III arc. Accelerator was consumed by rage due to his fight against Misaka Worst, and he did not believe he was capable of saving Last Order from the virus corrupting her, which were a few reasons why Accelerator lost the fight against Touma for a second time. The anime did not include a very important detail about why Touma won the fight. Touma possesses a hidden ability that the audience was never told about in the anime, but it does feature in the novel. If you've read the novel, you likely know what I'm referring to. If you have not, however, this video is definitely worth listening to. The hidden ability I refer to is actually not the dragons or the invisible power that usually appear when Touma's arm is severed. During her fight in Volume 20 of Old Testament, Accelerator is actually the one to notice that Touma is now in possession of an ability that Accelerator previously was unaware of. The following passage is from the volume itself. Credit to JS06 for the translation. The sound of an explosion rang out. With the massive destructive power, large amounts of earth got swept up and formed into a 15-meter high and 300-meter wide tsunami made of earth. The entire vista got covered by it, and it struck as if to swallow the tiny lad. He should have been dead with this attack. Even if he was wearing military-use power armour, his body of flesh and blood would be crushed along with the synthetic materials of the body armour. Even so, pacha! The level 0 charged right into the soaring earth. His body got pummeled by massive amounts of rocks, but none were fatal attacks. Accelerator was shocked at first, but soon figured out his tactics from the situation. From the previous reports about Academy City's number 3, Railgun, who Accelerator had faced off against before, in the rumours associated with Railgun, there was one saying that an unknown level 0 existed that could match against the Railgun using only his right hand. This raised many questions. For example, even if a right hand that can negate any ability exists, how could the one using it match his opponent's timing? A railgun attack was over 3 times the speed of sound, and lightning strikes were even faster. Even with a method of defending himself, to be able to time it right was extremely difficult. Even missing the timing by only an instant would probably result in death. In that situation, how could this scenario, every attack is negated easily, happen? From the situation now, Accelerator could make a rough estimate. In other words, precognition. For example, when the railgun used her ability, she would give off weak magnetic fields and electromagnetic waves that would make the metal items around her resonate. Because of the eventual large explosion, the railgun herself probably wouldn't notice these tiny vibrations like an earthquake's precursor. To see the invisible magnetic force, spread iron sand onto it to make it visible to the naked eye, just like an elementary school experiment. So, because of these involuntary movements, there would be hints to when the railgun would attack. Of course, that was not all. That was not the only kind. Even though her ability was more common compared to Accelerator's ability, she was still the number 3 expert of Academy City, and shouldn't be blocked that easily. There were probably other reasons as well. For example, the lightning strike. If it was only high voltage electricity flow, by extending his right hand, the lightning would be attracted onto it, with the right hand acting like a lightning rod. Also, the iron sand sword. Apart from the sword in her hand, the iron sand around her would also change shape due to the magnetic force. In other words, a visible magnetic path would be formed that could be used to predict where the strike would end up. Depending on the situation, he could even negate the sword without coming into contact with it just by touching the iron sand around him. Sometimes the path to victory would change. Was it using the most powerful ability one possessed, or the aftermath from that ability? According to different tactics used, the path to victory changed along with it. What was most important wasn't whether there was a change to victory, but to never rely on only one form, and look at the problem from many different viewpoints. Above all, look for the best method to resolve the current situation. Even against the same kind of espers, the same kind of tactics might not be suited to be used. Even if it was just lightning strikes, depending on how it was used, different tactics may have to be taken. Because of this, battle tactics were always changing. By depending on the defense from the ability to negate any ability to avoid being killed instantly, to buy time and use it for maximum gain, by experiencing the impacts on one's body and using that data as the basis to find the best way to get out of the situation alive. Just having brains wasn't enough. Just having the power wasn't enough. Only by combining the two was it possible to barely succeed. In a situation where death was only a hair's breadth away, having the courage to keep his body and thoughts moving probably helped a lot as well. The level 0 probably didn't realise it himself, how to use his ability in its fullest potential, using the aftermath as a basis, and then change tactics to fight according to the situation. He was probably just combining those with his reflex. As for the railgun, making everything made of metal vibrate around her, he probably didn't take note of it explicitly, but took it in using his peripheral vision and processed it deep inside him. So success was not guaranteed. On the other hand, if he actively tried to take note of these things, it was more likely to fail. Just taking Accelerator's attack and surviving was exceptional in terms of battle ability, even if anyone else had this power in their right hand. How many could get the same results? So, Touma has the ability to anticipate and predict movements and attacks that any normal human obviously wouldn't be able to react to, and this ability is known as Precognition. Some speculate that this ability is actually Touma's Esper ability, even though he's a level 0 doesn't actually mean he has no Esper power, as seen with Motoharu's Auto Rebirth when he is a level 0 Esper. Level 0 Esper powers are indeed rare, as usually level 0s have no power at all. Level 0 abilities tend to be ones that the user has little or no control over, hence why they still are ranked at the bottom of the Esper food chain. But I do not think it is his Esper ability, as Imagine Breaker should nullify Touma's aim energy, so it seems strange that he would be able to use an ability without the energy that is necessary to use it. The last question of the passage is also interesting to consider. If someone other than Touma had this power, would they have the same success he would have? It's clear that Kamachi is implying that they would not have the same combat strength as Touma would have, even with Imagine Breaker. That is why many fans, myself included, believe that Touma's Precognition was developed thanks to his combat experience, in addition to the strengths of his Imagine Breaker, and the passage pretty much alluded to that. Touma has been in so many fights between Esper's magicians that he has developed this ability from his combat experience, learning to anticipate danger and predict movements. This ability is very important, as it explains why Touma was able to counter opponents like Misaka Makoto and Accelerator so well. While Accelerator has never really used his super speed in the fight against Touma, as Accelerator was just used to simply standing still and letting his reflection earn his victory for him, his Precognition definitely helps justify most of Touma's victories against strong enemies. Accelerator, however, can match a Saint's speed, as he kept up with both Kazakiri and Gabriel during World War III. Gabriel having fought many Saints or Saint-level opponents on quite a few occasions. So why can Touma react to Accelerator but not Saints like Aqua and Kanzaki? It's stated in the passage that Touma can sense aim energy and actually attract it, as seen with Imagine Breaker acting like a lightning rod towards Misaka's attacks. So yeah, magicians have no such aim energy, so Touma can't sense what movement they will do because he simply can't sense the energy around them because they are magicians and don't use aim. So that pretty much explains why Touma gets his ass beat by Saints all the time. Anyway, I hope you found this video informative. Please subscribe for more Toaru videos, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.